The 2026 MLB season is barely 2 weeks old, and we already have chaos. The Dodgers are chasing a three-peat. Skubal's chasing a third straight Cy Young. There's a lockout looming after the season. And my Yankees? Captain Aaron Judge tied for the MLB home run lead. He just passed Mickey Mantle, and he is already calling out his own team for pressing. They're 10-9. They're swept by the Rays in April. So in this video, I'm giving you the 3 storylines that are going to define the entire season. And yeah, I've got hot takes on all of them. Let's go. Moving to baseball. I'm going to talk about the biggest storylines, or a couple of the biggest storylines in 2026 that you need to watch. And for context, I'm using a New York Times article on the top 12 storylines of the 2026 MLB season. I will leave a link in the description if y'all want to check it out. And yes, again, I'm only focusing on 3 of them today. I might go make an entire video discussing the looming lockout and the financial disparity in Major League Baseball, but I don't really have time to cover that in this kind of video. Dodgers looking to three-peat. Skubal looking to Cy Young three-peat, which only Greg Maddux and Randy Johnson have ever done. And this is a interesting caveat. Only one player has won the Cy Young when changing teams at mid-season. That was Rick Sutcliffe in the 80s. Why do I bring that up? Tarik Skubal's market is going to be scorching hot this year. He's in the final year of his controlled years with the Detroit Tigers. They have not had progress on signing a long-term deal. He just won $31 million in arbitration. That's going to be a high-dollar deal, and the Tigers might very well trade him at the trade deadline, especially if they get a very nice package. So it'll be interesting if he can win the Cy Young after being traded midseason. And then we're also going to touch on the automated balls and strikes system that has been implemented in the major leagues this year. I find it very fascinating. But let's start with the Dodgers and their three-peat. They brought back most of their 2025 roster, minus Kershaw, but he was done anyways. I love Kershaw. I remember his rookie season. I remember the first time I saw that curveball, and he had a 4 ERA at the time, but I was like, this guy is going to be good. That curveball faked me out, and I'm watching it on TV. They went and signed Kyle Tucker, elite power speed third baseman, and a threat for 30-30. He's 20-20 all the time. Ohtani would think that's cute, being the only 50-50 guy. But Kyle Tucker, great discipline, and just another tough out in an already stacked Dodger lineup. And then they went and signed Edwin Diaz, top 3 closer in baseball, and also stole him from the Mets, who will most likely be there in the playoffs. Huge coup for the Dodgers. And their other bullpen pieces are coming back. That was their weakness last year, right? So Dodgers went and added an awesome bat to the lineup that won the World Series, and then went and fixed their bullpen mess. They're going to be tough, and there's not many teams that'll be able to beat them. I'll make a video about that early in the baseball season as well, and which teams I think can actually upset them in the playoffs or the final World Series. Are the Dodgers bad for baseball? I do not think so. They're playing within the rules of the game and the collective bargaining agreement. You can't blame the Dodgers for playing in LA and having that market. You can't blame them for knowing how to market their team and their players to generate revenue off the field. It's fantastic business practices going on in the Dodgers organization. And you can't be mad at that. You can be jealous, but they're not doing anything wrong. And baseball has always been a feeder league. And some organizations decided long ago that that's what they are. They're an MLB-level farm team. They're not going to spend a whole lot of money. And when their players graduate from the 6 years of control, they'll let them go. They'll trade them or just let them go. That's just baseball. Again, can't be mad at the Dodgers for that. Skubal, looking for a Cy Young three-peat, is absolutely phenomenal. Is he the best pitcher in baseball? That's a tough one. I really like Paul Skeens. I think he might be the best pitcher in the NL, and he may very well be the best pitcher in the world in a year or two. But I believe Skubal owns that title right now. Garrett Crochet is coming on strong, but for right now, it's Tarek Skubal. Go through a couple of the numbers. Last year, he was second in ERA. Won 13 games on a decent Tigers team, tied for 12th, but wins don't really determine a pitcher's quality. Tied 4th for innings pitched, so he's a workhorse. Allowed 141 hits, gave up 33 walks, which had him a whip of .89. Less than one guy on base per inning. Fabulous. Fabulous for a workhorse pitcher that pitched 195 innings last year. And he had 241 Ks. That was second. And the hitters only batted 200 against him. I want that dude on the mound when I'm playing defense all the time. Moving to automated balls and strikes. I've been slow to accept changes in baseball. The status quo has gotten us this far, and I really love the game of baseball. So all of the changes I've been very cautious with. But I ended up loving the pitch clock. I love the increase in stolen bases with the bigger bases and like moving them around a little bit. So I kind of love the rule changes so far, and I am loving the automated balls and strikes system. So this old head is changing his ways a little bit. Umpires are right 94% of the time. And I've always said that if we have the technology to challenge plays quickly and get it right, then we need to do it across the board the entire game. So I don't really like the limited challenges in the ABS system. I would like to see an automatic replay after the last pitch of the game, right? Nobody needs to challenge that. That's just if the end game ends on a called ball that walks home a guy, called strike that strikes a dude out, I want that replayed automatically. Because I've seen it. We've all seen it. It happened in the playoffs last year. It happened in the World Baseball Classic to the Dominican Republic this year. Bad calls send people home for the last pitch of the game. And you only get 2 challenges. You're not saving one of those for the last pitch of the game most of the time. I think that should be an automatic rule. Just like the NFL has under 2 minutes, every scoring play gets a replay. We need to implement something like that. And here's another reason why I love the system. I was watching a game the other day, and Jazz Chisholm and the umpire got into a heated exchange in the middle of Jazz's at-bat. Manager Aaron Boone came out, calmed everything down. And the next pitch was a little inside. And in my head, I'm thinking, oh, this dude's calling out a strike, because they just had this heated exchange. Sorry. And he didn't. He called it a ball. Umpires are amazing at the job. They usually have law degrees, very high education, and I would like to believe that they have integrity. But humans are humans. We can be petty. We hold grudges. So to think that an umpire hasn't made a call based on a grudge, a petty emotion, is kind of foolish, because we know humans. We've seen humans our entire lives. But again, this umpire called it a ball. And I immediately thought, that's awesome. The ABS system either is fixing that issue with umpires, or is fixing the idea of umpires doing that in my head, because I can see it and it can be challenged. So I absolutely love it. And bad calls hurting a team needs to be eradicated if we have the technology to do it quickly without slowing the game down. It's fantastic stuff. I would love to hear what y'all think about MLB storylines. And which do you think is more likely to happen? Do you think the Dodgers three-peat or Skubal three-peating as Cy Young? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to chat about it. Thank you for joining JetKoa Sports. Please subscribe if you like the segment. And I'm going to leave a link to the main video right here. Keep balling, y'all.